Hey guys, this is Michael from EAK Crew Productions, and today I'm bringing you my Nordic deck. We're going to go ahead and go into a profile. Now, I wasn't sure if I wanted to show this off yet because it's been having some really good testing, and I was thinking about running it and keeping it a secret, and then maybe going to a regionals one day with it. But you know what? I'll show it off anyways. So let's go straight into the deck. First, we have two gold facts. We have two Raikou to destroy. This guy's pretty good too. He's got an effect that you can actually use every now and then. Super nimble because he pulls out Raikou, he pulls out black, and he pulls out white. Then we got the black goat because its effect is crazy. Pretty much, if a monster is destroyed, you can special summon him. So you special summon him in defense mode, of course, because his second effect is if he's switched from defense mode to attack mode, and that's face down defense mode or face up defense mode. He special summons out one Nordic beast, and you just go out into him, and you can make a 7-star. So that's an easy Black Rose under the field, or ancient sacred wyvern. So really good, easy Black Rose, blow up the field and neutralize the situation you have. The goat, one of the great cards because he is a 3-star earth, so he's easy to help with tuning. But also, if he's destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, he special summons 2 earth tokens. So his tokens are also good synchro fodder. Then I'm running 2 Cosmo Beat as the 2-star Earth Tuner in the deck. Because really, what I felt was lacking in Nordics was the ability to go into Beast, Barkion, and Landois. Because many of the monsters in the deck were Earth, but all the tuners seemed to be light. So it was a conflict. So what I've done is I've kept him in the deck, of course, obviously because that Black Rose play is too easy to get off, and the Sacred Wyvern. So obviously I'm keeping that in there. But I've added in the Cosmo Beat because its effect just really allows you to synchro summon extremely easy. I mean, I've had it where I go first, face down Raikou or face down Nimble, and then end turn, and my opponent goes set as well. And that's just an open invite for Cosmo Beat. So, boom, Cosmo Beat, my turn, I flip the trap stun and go into a synchro summon, Without even having, it's just crazy. Without even having to do an additional summon on my turn, it's boom, it's done, It's ready because of Cosmo Beat. Like, it's so great, That's that right there, Like, come on, man. Then, of course, I have 3 Psychic Commander as my other tuner, and I use Psychic Commander as my other tuner because I'm using Emergency Teleport, and really, it's like the only good Earth tuner. But it's a really good one because he can, of course, you're going to lose life points to use his effect, but you can point for point with cards like Thunder King that'll stop your synchro summons and stuff like that. And then because we run Emergency Teleport, you can tutor it from the deck, so it's like running 5 of it. And then one of the cards that is just busted in this deck, and another reason why I decided to look back at Nordics, because when I was younger, or when the deck, younger, I guess I was technically, but when the deck first came out, I really enjoyed Nordics. But they were so one turn wonder and then die. But now I'm a little older, I understand the game better, and I have a more grasp on certain cards, I can understand that by adding in Earth tuners and making Beast, Barkion, and Landois live cards, I can really make the deck more of an issue for other players. It makes the deck harder to get over, and then because I've done that, because I've added all those Earth monsters, Grand Soil, the Elemental Lord, which is a relatively new card, has become usable in this deck. I mean, It's a 2,800 beat stick that can special summon back a dead beast or Barkion. I mean, that's amazing. I played against Chaos Dragons, ended up synchroing into a Barkion, which got destroyed. So, on my turn, I normal summoned, then I used teleport to get out Psychic Commander. I went into a Landoise so I could stop his monster effects. Then I dropped a Grand Soil, and then I and then I used Grand Soil's effect to get the dead Barkion out of my graveyard, and then I Monster Reborned his Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, and that was just game over. I mean, he wasn't getting over that. It was, Grand Soil is just so good in this deck. It's crazy. The If you draw an open hand, obviously you're gonna be like, oh, I can't use it yet, dead card. But you'll make it live so quickly. Dark Hole, stable, of course. You'll realize I'm not running any Heavy Storm, and the deck's been working well without it. But personally, I'm looking for the space to add it. 2 Forbidden Lance. I'll probably drop Lance down to 1 and squeeze in the Heavy Storm. But Lance is such a great card. It keeps you safe. If your Barkions and your Beasts can't do it, it lets you survive on the Dark Holes. Um, yeah, that minus 800 to a monster is great too during damage calculation. Monster Reborn, of course, because it's a staple. 3 MST in the deck, and you'll say, it's pretty, standard, especially since I don't have the heavy in here yet. But I also follow it up with 2 Trap Stun because the deck is very oriented towards not an OTK, but setting up your board with like a beastie, the Naturia locks, pretty much, where you have Barkion and Beast on the field, or like a Landoise and Barkion, things upon that nature. So that's why I have that in there. If you're wondering how you go Landoise, boom and boom. So 2 Emergency Teleports, one of the best cards in the deck. Brings these guys out. I was also thinking about running Psychic Jumper, but Psychic Jumper's effect wouldn't really be useful, but it would make me able to run 3 Teleport. So, I don't know. It's something for you to think of. 2 Bottomless Trap Holes, because I'd rather play them over Warnings. And you'll realize I don't play Warnings or Solemn Judgment in this build, and it's because that life point neg just isn't... I don't enjoy that. The card's not so good that I'm willing to give up that much life points when I can have other cards that will do almost the same. Even though, Warning's a great card because you warning a Shein, it's done. You bottomless a Shein, and Shein negates the bottomless. 2-dimensional prison, gotta get over like Stardust and stuff like that, and those problem monsters. Then we have 2 Feathers for Fairnair, which is a great card because if you have a monster that's about to be destroyed, you chain this to the declaration of the attack, you get this guy into your hand, and then boom, when your monster's destroyed, special summon this guy. Next turn you have a set of Black Rose play. Pretty great. 2 Mirror Force because we're trying to protect our monsters, Sometimes I just end up setting this with some back row hate, protect it, and then flip him on my turn. Torrential Tribute, we're only running 1, even though Torrential's a great card, because, like I said, this deck is about getting your board out of like your Naturias and then keeping it locked down. So that's why I do that. Starlight Road, keep the board locked down. 2 Trap Stun, keep your monsters on the field. If you weren't able to go into that Barkion, like maybe you're looking at a Beast and a Landoise, now you have Trap Stun for the protection. And of course this also helps like that with Mirror Force. Let's go into the extra deck. There is no side for this right now. Canister, which is going into the 5 stars. So you have this. Obviously I'm usually going into Beast I'm sorry, not those 2. These 2 right here, or this and Cosmo Beat. And Usually I'm going into Beast, but Canister is a problem solver, so there's always that. Then TG Librarian, just because if I'm going to special summon a lot that turn, maybe I want to be able to get the plus off the hand. I'm looking for that Grand Soil, so, because it's live if I draw it maybe. So that's why Naturia Beast, great card, stops spells and helps Barkion become better because it puts more into the graveyard. It might even make a Grand Soil alive with its effect. And then, of course, Grand Soil is so good in this deck because once I have out Beast and Barkion, then it's even easier to manipulate my grave. So Barkion stops all those traps. Great card. We're running 2 of him because he's easier to go into than Beast. 1 Landois. I don't go into Landois too often, but the time I have gone into Landois, he did win me game with his effect. So he is a good card. 2 Black Rose. Not running 3 because I only have 2 Gulflax in the deck, and two Black Rose in 1 game. I mean, that's probably all you're gonna need. Ancient Wyvern because he wins games, honestly. Like, you're ahead when you use him, but he seals it. He makes it end there. Stardust, 2 Stardust, 1 for the road, and then another one just in case I flip the Nimble, or if somebody attacks into the Nimble, I get out this guy, and then instead of going into a Black Rose, I want to go into a Stardust. That's if Nimble survived, of course. Thought Ruler, same thing, but going into a Thought Ruler instead. Thor, because Thor is live in the deck, 10 star, whatever. Special summon, set, kind of thing going on there. I've only gone into Thor once, and his 3,500 attack with his ability to negate my opponent's effect did get me to push for game, but the card is only good because of its ability to be able to be brought back. The 2 trap stuns in my deck and the 3 MSTs, so that he also has protection. If I didn't have so much back row hate, I don't think the card would be as good. But it's also great because Grand Soil is around. So if he does die and I have a Grand Soil, maybe I can bring him back with Grand Soil, which would just be a nutty field to look at. Then the 2 XYZs I run, Zen mains. This is in case I just need to go into him. I mean, look at I have all these 3 stars, and then I have these, and they're tutorable, so I could go into a Zen mains, or I could go into a number 17 if I'm going for game. But yeah, so that's the deck. I hope you guys really enjoy it. Maybe make some changes to it. Maybe use the psychic jumpers like I was thinking about, so you can add consistency. I don't know. Do whatever you like. But this is my Nordic deck. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Peace.